Hi, this is Avi Fishoff, and I am filming this from inside the Bikur Chaylim room where I'm spending the night. And I ask everyone to be mispal for my father, Yechiel ben Zion ben Mirel. And this is in Schus for Fu Shalema, Yechiel ben Zion ben Mirel, B'Soich Shar Chayle Yisrael. This week's parsha, there's an amazing HACHAIM HAKADOSH. The parsha starts off by saying, VAYIGASH Elav Yehuda. Yehuda approached Yosef. Yosef was giving them a hard time. He was jailing brothers, and he was being totally unreasonable. They didn't know what to do. They're going to fight with them. They're going to go at war. What are they going to do? VAYIGASH Elav Yehuda. Yehuda approaches him. Frekta HACHAIM HAKADOSH. Go back to the end of the last parsha. What was going on? Yehuda was in the middle of talking to Yosef. So Yehuda was right there in front of Yosef, and he was speaking to him. And all of a sudden, there's a new parsha, VAYIGASH Elav Yehuda. Yehuda approaches Yosef. What does that mean? And there are many different terutzim. The HACHAIM HAKADOSH says something amazing and so practical. What a lesson for all of us. He says that Yehuda realized that we're in big trouble over here. This guy is making trouble for us. What am I going to do? He came up with a very clever idea. We know that kamayim hapanim lepanim kein leiv ha'adam la'adam. The way that you feel about someone, it forces them to feel about you. The way that if you love someone, they have to love you. So he came up with a trick. He said, you know what I'm going to try? What if I show and feel and I awaken inside of myself tremendous ava for this mitzri, for this idol worshiper, for this lowlife, the lowest guy in the world. He thought this Yosef guy, he didn't know who he was. He thought this Egyptian is a oived avodah zara, a lowlife. What if I would love him like crazy? Then he would be forced to love me back like crazy. So then he wouldn't give us such a hard time. So of course, if he loves me like a brother, right, then of course he's going to go ahead and be super nice to us, and he's just going to be great. Everything's going to be fantastic. So he goes ahead and he's VAYIGASH. He approached him, not physically, because physically he was there. Emotionally. He says that he went ahead and he lowered himself and he changed his insides to connect to this mitzri. How do you love somebody you have nothing in common with? So many times parents tell me, I want to love my kid, I have nothing in common with him. I like learning and he likes movies. I like Yiddishkeit and Torah and being normal and he's dysfunctional. How do you do that? He says it was very hard because the natural instinct of the shiftei ka was to hate and look down at a lowlife, a mitzri, and oived avodah zara. Mamash ervas haaretz, the antithesis of everything that the shiftei ka, the holiest people in the world. You know what he did? He had such strength, inner strength, emotional strength, to lower himself, lefisha, temporarily, to change his mindset and his ritzinus, his own wants and desires and yearnings, to match that of Yosef. He changed what he likes, and his ratzon, his desires, to be the same as Yosef. Oh, what movie did you go to? Oh, I love that. Which avodah zara are you bowing down? Oh, wow, that looks great. It's a fascinating. You have to see it inside. It's amazing. He says he went ahead and he put himself to love this mitzri. How? By connecting with him. How? I really like what you like. Because the only way that someone could really have a relationship with you is if you have the same likes. And so too, if you want to go ahead and really connect to someone in order to accomplish something, the only way, says the HACHAIM HAKADOSH, to achieve kamayim hapanim lepanim, is if you change who you are, lefisha, temporarily. You're really still a tzaddik, but lefisha, I'm going now for a mitzvah, for an important reason. I can change myself to mamish be one of you, to feel like you. And you can't fool, let's understand, in order for kamayim hapanim lepanim kein leiv ha'adam la'adam to work, it's not what I say. It's what's going on a different level. Tosfos says about kamayim hapanim that it's a supernatural part of the bria. You don't even need to be near the person. If you think loving thoughts, truly accepting loving thoughts, it changes how it's not just because you'll talk them into it and they'll think you like them. So in order for it to work, his lave had to honestly change to be similar to the lave of the mitzri. And he was able to do that. Yehuda was able to do that. To go down, 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 that I like what he likes. I'm going to connect him on his level. His ritzinus became the ratzon of a low-life mitzri, lefisha, temporarily. So that way, maybe he's going to realize that I really like him. And then the kamayim hapanim lepanim will work, and then he's going to be really easy on us, and he's going to let us go. Isn't that fascinating? There's so much to learn from that. So I want to add, if this was what was done, so l'chayra, why did it have to be Yehuda? We think VAYIGASH Elav Yehuda because he was the strongest, but if this is not strength, so why did it have to be Yehuda? Any one of the Shvatim could have done this trick, kamayim hapanim lepanim. The Torah says it takes enormous strength. Yehuda was a melech, Yehuda was a gibor. It wasn't just physical, it was emotional strength. I have parents that go mamish to connect to their child because that kesher is what brings the child back. They go into the mud. And they got to convince the child, they got to convince themselves, Lefisha, really, without ruining myself, without tainting myself, I am still me. But Lefisha, I love what you love. I like what you like. It's exciting, it's gewaldig, we're wonderful. Because that connection is what's going to bring the child back. It takes tremendous strength. It needed Yehuda, the strongest of the Shvatim emotionally up here in the brain, to do such a fantastically difficult thing to do. You have to be so mighty. You need such gvura over yourself. That's the gvura of Yehuda. Gvura over himself. Lefisha, to be able to do this dance. And then afterwards, when you're not in front of the person, you're back to being holy and wonderful and Torah and everything's great. But now I got to go down and down and down to convince this person on a different level, on a spiritual level, that he should feel that I'm really a mamash one with him. And this is what the Ramban says. It says, Vayev Yitzchak as Esav ki tzayid bepiv. Frek the Ramban, Yitzchak was a oil tamima. Yitzchak was midas agvura. He loved Esav because Esav brought him barbecue chicken, because he had the best ribs. Doesn't make any sense. Says the Ramban that Yitzchak knew that the only way to save Esav is to connect to him. And how do you connect to somebody if you have nothing in common? So the Ramban said he found commonality. What are you? You like to sit and learn? No, what are you? You like to cook? You're my personal chef. You're my personal chef. And look how much interest that all of a sudden it makes. He comes, Tati, look what I made for you. Oh, delicious, Esav. It's so good. It's boosting. It's connecting. He feels close to him. No, Esav, what do you bring me tomorrow for lunch? I want to see the menu. You discuss it. It gives you common interest. Oh, no, I don't want the turkey. I want the duck. How about duck? Can you get me some duck? Tai, I couldn't find a duck. I finally murdered a duck, and I'm making it for you. Oh, wow, you're the best. Compliments, boosting self-esteem, all of that happened only through commonality. Says the Ramban, Rishon, that Yitzchak, Vayav Yitzchak as Esav, Kitzayid bepiv, because that was the only way to connect. Sometimes we're in a generation now where we think we're looking at a Mitzri, a lowlife, an Ovid Avodah Zarah, but really it's a Yosef. Really it's someone who was abandoned and hurt and thrown into the pit. Really underneath, there's a tzaddik over there. There's a tzaddik over there. There's a real holy Jew, deep underneath, and you think you're facing this kid who doesn't care about anything, and all he cares about is movies and tumah, and he's about taiva and everything. Follow VAYIGASH Elav Yehuda. When you approach these kids, you have to approach them on an emotional level. To approach them, VAYIGASH HaGosha, not l'machama, not to put them down, not to confront them, to try to create the love inside of yourself, to be so strong, to be able to love every Jew. The bigger the tzaddikim were, the more they were able to love the lower Jew. Do you chap that? The Baal Shem Tov said, Halavai, I would love the biggest tzaddik like Hashem loves the biggest Rasha. The small-minded people, they're right away hating. The bigger the tzaddik, the more love they have inside of their hearts. And I'm always fascinated how you would think that the biggest tzaddikim, when it comes to a boy who's off the derech or something, they should say, forget about him, throw him out, avek varfin, arois varfin. No. Whether it's the Divrei Yoel, whether it's the Chazon Ish, whether it's all the tzaddikim, Rebbeinu Leib Shteimel Zayin Gesund, whether it's a Gershon Edelstein Shlita, all of them are fighting for every kid. Fighting, no normit ava, only with kiruv, only with being mekarev them. Fascinating stories and fascinating written down. You don't find anybody on the small-minded, the aunts, the uncles, the mother-in-law, throw them out of the house. People are ready to do kares. Chazon Ish, look at all the stories. Never. They wanted to throw a boy out of the yeshiva for smoking on Shabbos. And he said, in order to kill someone, you need a bezin of Chav Gimel. In order to kill somebody physically, you need to have a bezin of 23 people who paskin Misa. That's just physically. You want to throw a boy out of yeshiva, you're killing him for eternity. You're killing him not just Olam Hazeh, Olam Haba. You need at least 23. So there's Yeshiva who came to him and said, I have to throw him out of yeshiva. He said, but what should I do? He said, I'm not saying you're wrong. Find 22 other people, make a bezin, you kill him. Maybe you're right, but you're only one. And you're not allowed to kill somebody. And we have small-minded sisters and brothers of people, they just don't have any. So, I hear that all the time. You got to throw them out, but the tzaddikim say no. And the way to do it is to find, like the Ramban, commonality. What do you like? I like it too. And to have the Hagosha of Yehuda, of the Giba, of the Gvura, somebody who has self-control over himself, that can say that Lefisha, I can love you the way you are.